and level that. I guess we don't need to because it will level with us, but I'm going to. So might as well teach that. There. Whatever. I can apply there. Oh, I didn't really plan to ID the... Like, we can never use this, right? It says we just sell it for 10 speeds. Let's go back to Act 1, because I think we can pick up a Firestorm. I'm pretty sure Temple gets Firestorm. So, Merveil reward, did I not get Firestorm for free? Okay, I have to buy it anyway. We can just buy a Firestorm. Now, this will level with us, but usually it'll be slightly higher. Did I really not get Firestorm? That's crazy. That's crazy talk. Really? That seems so unfair. It's 28 now? Oh, they changed it. Holy. Okay, even better. Ignore this entire last part. When did they change it? Is it that long since I've used Firestorm? It used to be level 12. Even better. The times they are changing. $312. Okay, I've definitely played it since then. I guess I just forgot. To be fair, it was like 7 years where it was level 12. I'll blame it on that. A Scholar robe with red, blue, red. We're happy with our current chest, so we don't care. Here is a Chance Orb. So that is used on a white item, and it can turn a white item blue, yellow, or unique. So it actually has a chance to turn an item unique. Very low chance. But a chance nonetheless. So what we get by killing all the bandits instead of helping any of them is we get a skill point. We get a skill point. We're gonna run over here to the waypoint. We're gonna go to town because we need to pick up the Apex. There, it doesn't give you cast speed. Now, scepters aren't bad, but we are just going to sell it. Because you can't use one wand and one scepter. There. Almost got like the last node for this part of the skill tree. Thank you, Apple. Right, now this is the most complicated zone, or second most complicated zone in Path of Exile. Very incredibly easy to get lost. Probably a lot of people watching hate this zone. Very rough zone. Is a part of the game nonetheless. We are just gonna run straight there though. Right, so this is the thing you'll come across. It will let you vol an item. Vol orbs will basically have a 25% chance to ruin your item. There's nothing really interesting we can use it on, to be honest. There's nothing we really care about using it on. We could throw a contempt on a ring and wall the ring and see if anything interesting happens. No, nothing. Could like re-roll it with 6 stats. Oops, it's down. Let's see, and we get our last Ash, Frost, and Storm now. So if we click C right now and click on Rolling Magma, we can see that we have a chance to ignite 65%. And those chance orbs usually save them up until you get to max, because you can, like, in the endgame, buy useful things with them. So you want to save them. Click the Ancient Seal, and we're on our very merry way. And now you see that we're igniting loads of things. You can shock things with their lightning damage, but no pull damage where you can't freeze or chill. But we can with Frostbite. And clicking your skills here is very important. I've had people following my build guides and they'd be like, oh, I don't have a 100% chance to ignite, but they've actually been looking at their default time. There's a little mini boss. And in this zone, we finally get a side zone where we can get our hideout. This is a ritual. We are not going to interact with that. It is very dangerous. You don't have chaos resistance. So we have fire, cold, and lightning damage from monsters, and obviously physical. But we have something called chaos as well. And the scary thing about it is it bypasses energy shield. And it's not always balanced properly. It depends where you're encountering it. Rituals are very imbalanced with it. So now we're looking for a side area here, which I barely enter, so I actually don't know the layout for that. I guess it is down. Is it down? Oh, I've already seen it. But we will go do that, because that is how you unlock a hideout, which is how we get access to the crafting bench. Now, once you already have it on future characters, you'll be able to use it far sooner, like at level 12. But you do need to do this to unlock it, and you're far beyond level 12 when you get it the first time. The only other thing that you only need to unlock once is the Scion character. Both of these you need to unlock once. So this is a diamond shrine, so now I have a 100% crit chance. So you'll see that every time I hit an enemy now, I get that elemental overload buff. But our firewall can't get that because he can't hit. It only degens the enemy. A little bit of a difference there. So now we're looking for a side area in this side area. Then we're gonna kill some monkeys, and once we've done that, we get a hideout. Alright. This is where we're going. And now all we have to do is full clear this zone. Kill the 2 mini bosses that we almost one hit. And then boom, it'll come up with the hideout unlocked. We can now go to town and talk to Helena. Let's see. Now we have also found Grand Life Flask. If you don't have an instant life flask and you have a lot of transmutes, throwing a transmute on, and like when it's like now an augment is not a bad idea. Because it is really good to get an instant life flask. Now we're gonna talk to Helena, and she will give you like create hideout as an option. I already have one, obviously. And you can like customize to make them look cool. But in decorations, you'll have a crafting bench. That's below my portrait, but it'll say like edit and then decorations. It's like a little triangle drop down. But here you'll have a crafting bench. You'll put that down and boom! These are all the crafts we have access to. So there are loads of really good things here. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at our panel where we see the fire, cold, and lightning resist. We do have cold. We don't particularly have good rings, so we can keep them for now though. So now I'll look at like rare gear that has an open suffix by holding Alt, right? So our helmet has an open suffix. We have fire resist on it, but we can craft lightning resist. And this is where all the heaps of transmutes come in handy. Boom. Our boots, they have no res, so we can craft fire. Boom. Belt has no res, and craft lightning. And a really cool thing, notice that our rings that are white, well, you guessed it, you can craft on white gear. So boom. So even though we did not help Belira with the cost of 5 transmutation orbs, we're already resist capped before we've even finished Act 2. So this is a very good thing to learn early. This is why I've been telling you to pick up unidentified gear and sell it, because now we have that. We have another lesson we can teach as well. I don't think we're taking one, but here we have masteries. So the ones that are in its own wheel, not in the middle of the skill tree, they have mastery. So this is an extra thing where you get to choose an elemental mastery. I don't think we're taking any here. Honestly, we could take this. The inverted one is kind of cool, because we're not lowering the enemy resists. So if something has 30% positive fire res or whatever, then it'll be 30% negative. Now we're going to click on the level 31 section of Path of Building, and we're going to continue. Now, we've run through this zone so much, so we're gonna restart it, because I want to kill monsters as I'm moving along, because over-leveling is really good. That is a scary ghost. It'll make things explode when they die. It's gotten nerfed quite a lot, but it used to be incredibly scary. Ow. Okay, oh, actually that's because of the chaos monsters that I previously mentioned. So, yeah, Ritual, very hateful. A lot of people block Ritual early on hardcore. Let's see, we do want a new mana potion here at some point soon. So we're gonna pick up this Shaper. It gives you mana regen, and it also gives you life regen. Life regen will be very noticeable as well. It's very nice. Can you get less XP when you're over leveled though? Doesn't matter. Does not matter. Being over leveled is always a good thing. Look how much damage we have now too. This build can't Uber. That is a lie. I literally killed 500 plus Ubers on a hardcore last league. This is the single strongest build this league. It's between this and Lightning Strike Trickster. This is absolutely an Uber farmer. This is absolutely an Uber farmer. There's probably like 100 or 1,000 people in chat doing Ubers with this build. It is either the strongest build or the second strongest build of the entire league. So instead of saying this build can't do Ubers, maybe go like, hey, I'm struggling with Ubers. Do you have any pointers on how I can get better? That'll help you a lot more. I almost one-shot Uber Eater. Yeah, it's very strong. It is very strong. One thing that is a little scary on this build for hardcore specifically this league is that our early defenses this patch in Bad Vexel got trounced. So I've been telling people to like use Grace instead of Wrath. Just because like we got such a huge nerf for every single build in early defense. Until you have like 100% of all your endgame defenses. I'll help you like tomorrow or something like this, because right now I'm doing this as a tutorial. So I can't go through and help you right now. Maybe zone and check gun though. If not, I'll help you tomorrow. Oh, I want to go back. I missed something. So I sometimes make a new account for this so I don't miss this. I'm going to go back because I just remembered. So, at the entrance to the caverns... No, I haven't missed it. They just moved it. Okay. They just moved it. Okay, I'll explain it when we're at the boss. There's definitely one at the boss. Where else they moved it? Where'd they... Oh, it's outside now. So, you know, the game changes so much. They keep moving things. There's this secret room. Oh, I hate finding the secret room here. How do you find it? I genuinely don't know. It's a button somewhere. Is it in the bottom level? Two pedestals in front of a wall. Oh, it's in the bottom level, so I did miss that. Okay, that's annoying. Whatever. So at the bottom level here in the caverns, like before you go into the ancient pyramid, there's like a secret room. That's annoying. I don't like that. I'm not a big... I do like escape rooms, I guess. Let's use a Grand Manifest instead. It's right there. Where? Is it close to me? No, it's not. It's not here. It is in the bottom row before you enter ancient pyramid. Okay, we'll go up to the boss. So, in this boss area, and now we are rest capped, which is pretty good. The boss does lightning damage. Here you can see that there are crafting recipes. Boom. And there is one in the first area too. So this will unlock that for my crafting bench. So now we can actually go craft spell damage on that, and we probably will. We're gonna kill Wild Oversoul now. We are going to pick up our second keystone, 40% of damage taken from mana before life. So now it's nice that we don't have anything reserved on our mana. And then, I haven't needed to previously mention this before, but the first 5 seconds or 4 seconds of a boss being in combat, it has a large reduced damage taken. So if you've ever wondered why like the first few seconds of a fight goes so slow and then the boss takes more damage, it is in fact taking more damage later on. That's because we got to the point where we were one-shotting every boss as soon as it spawned, so they had like added like a thing to make them die slower. If you want to sit here and wait for this to open, you should open up a movie called Lord of the Rings Extended Edition Trilogy. And you can probably get through most of it before it opens. They have made it faster, but it's still quite slow. Let's see, there's no 3 blue on like a decent base, and you might have noticed that there are different types of ones, armors, etc. There's a lot of different base types. I'm gonna go to my hideout and craft spell damage, because then we'll get even more damage. Which costs 4 alterations. Now this is quite expensive, but we can use this for a long time now. And we've been so good at picking up a lot of transmutes and alts. There's a recipe here. This is for movement speed. I don't even know what's in the secret area then. I thought it was movement speed. Here is our first rogue exile, Jonah the Unchained. So he's a little like mini boss that can appear, and they're basically like, well, we are in exile, so they're a rogue exile, so they are us. And in exile fashion, they drop a full set of gear. So on the ground it's lying. At least can obviously drop some other stuff that he's taken from others, but it'll be at least a boot, a glove, 2 rings, a 2-hander or a bow and a quiver, etc. So like literally a full gear set. Let's see, we'll identify the boots. So we're just looking for like 30 plus life or something and movement speed. Some of the very specific ones you barely never use, right? Let's see. We can pick up this. It's a nice space type. It's got quite a lot more like evasion and energy shield than the one we're wearing, and our current test is quite bad. So now we see if we have like a decent essence. I'll try to like explain my thought process. Here we have a quality gem. I can explain that in a sec. Then we're gonna throw the hatred essence. So the oak coat. It's got cold resist. It's pretty decent. I'm happy with switching to that, and it does have open suffix, so we can craft lightning rest or whatever we want later. You will be losing resistances throughout the campaign in Act 5 and Act 10 to make it like harder to gear. No, it would be very easy. This is one of the only things you need to talk to. If you don't talk to Clarissa here, she doesn't appear in town. All right. We can look at gloves. Oh. We could go vendor right now, but I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna continue. When are we switching to Ice Nova? So that needs something called a Transfigured Gem, so we'd be doing that quite late. We'd be doing that quite late, because that's actually something we need to farm. That could take a while, so that is a problem. I might, if I'm doing, I know some people want me to do like an endgame, like Act 9 to maps kind of thing. If I do that, I might consider farming a few hours off stream, because I don't want to add 4 hours to the Everything Explained video of me running the same thing over and over again. Because that can be really, you can get really unlucky with that. So just keep track of how long it takes. Right, we are now moving towards mana nodes, and that's because we are going to go a support gem called Archmage, and it basically turns our mana into damage, sort of. So it's a really cool way to build a character because we get to use that for both defense and offense. Shrine gives us some knockback and damage. The knockback can be annoying. If you don't like this shrine, you can always just right click it to delete it. Why not just stream it and cut out the repetitive part? Because if I'm doing and everything explained, we can't edit these because they're 8-hour videos. So they take too long to render. That's the problem. That's why we have to upload these with breaks and stuff. Alright. We have another trial coming up here. Just be lucky. I mean, ideally we get it on the first try. That is a lot better. So here we have another trial. It's basically like the trial system just teaches you about what the lab is and how to avoid it. It was actually very scary when it first came out. Especially like the late game one. Terrifying. Hiding in the quick toilet break. More water. Yeah, we will have a gauntlet event this season. Alright, killing Piety again? We do meet her quite a lot. Again and again and again. But we're a very strong build, so counter her pretty fast. I'll be right back real quick, just skip it in the VOD.
我在想啊，火龙会比较多，火龙掉落率会比较高，因为这等级比较高，可是火龙数量好少，你打人又痛。妈，他等那个死人拍卖修好。 我看我们就这样一路打红主角兽，打到76等，好了。
Come back. All right, let me render all of this. We keep our like economy up. Right, now we are going to be taking conductivity, which is very confusing because we're a fire damage build. And we are even going to be using later a fire damage gem. So why are we taking conductivity? Well, that is because the Archmage support, it adds everything as lightning damage. So even though we are using a fire skill, we are going to be all about the lightning damage. All about the lightning damage. Alright. Hopefully it's been pretty easy to follow along so far. I'm working on like a big like beginner guide that's like an hour as well with just loads of things covered. Obviously these will always be more in depth, but long. Then once we are 28, 31? 31. 31 we're doing a big change. 31's a big level for us. So if you think we have a lot of damage now, it's gonna be good. Gonna be good. In this zone, there's always 3 of those like floor things. There's 1 before the waypoint and 2 after every time. You have a jeweler. So, you might have noticed that there are sockets on items. A jeweler can add or remove, like if it's less than 4. Socket and body armor and 200 weapons, they can have 6. Bows can have 6 as well. We're gonna ignore Blight. Cassia we're gonna ignore. I'm gonna talk to her so she shuts up, but we will ignore explaining her right now. Yeah, because I'm not gonna ask you to like respawn this zone. Like you just... It's more of an endgame mechanic. They just started putting endgame mechanics early on without really explaining them. It's more confusing in my opinion. But yeah, so... Like I said, body armors and 200 weapons can have up to 6 sockets and therefore 6 links. It's item level 50 to be 6 link and 6 socketed, sorry. And then Orb of Jeweler can like reroll the sockets. So like if I use it on this, they can only go to 3 is the max. Because it's item level 25 for a 4 socket and 35 for a 5 socket. Wait, did I not click? No, I have all 3. So at the moment we are able to start finding 4 sockets because it's over 25. Alright. We'll have some yams. level 28, so we can use Firestorm, but we don't really want to switch until 31. 31, we do the big switch. We are going to start taking the mana nodes, though. So, increased mana cost. Oh, sorry, increased mana regeneration rate, but reduced mana cost of skills. If you're a returning player, it's because they changed the way Archmage works. So, Archmage doesn't, like, giga make you consume mana anymore. Which is nice. That's why it's a lot more usable now. That didn't make a lot of sense. Yeah. Yeah, Legion is pretty okay for their first explanation, but Blight isn't because you don't get enough oils unless you're spamming the zone. And Incursion as well. They're both kind of just like overwhelming league mechanics that aren't explained. So it's a bit odd. That's why I just ignore them. So you don't want to overwhelm new players. It's already a very overwhelming game. And it's like, I've gotten a lot of feedback where people are saying like, it's really nice to just be told like, just worry about that later on a lot of things. So, I'm doing that a lot. Or on Earth, this side area. Thanks, Suji. Okay, it's not there. Let's be over here. And if anyone in chat sees questions, like by Matthias, that I already previously explained, I super appreciate when people explain things that have already been explained. Right now we're just trying to find the trial. What on earth is the top right thing? It can't be there. Let's just be up here. Uh-oh. This is a freeze box. They're very, very scary. A good alternative to those early on can actually be just slugging out. A lot of people do. Ah, here it is. So you don't have any freeze immunity this early. Boots we always want to identify because we're hoping for good ones. And you notice, like, as long as I'm not panicking, like, they do very little damage to me, the traps. There. Here we go. We can go pick up our skill point and vendor just to clean our inventory a bit. You might notice I'm also kind of playing basically inventory found and not stashing a lot. So like, you really don't need stash tabs to start playing the game. You just need later once you realize the game is for you. So quality on gems, it's very simple. If you hold Alt, it'll literally tell you at the bottom of each gem what quality does. So for Fire Trap, not so much. That's something we can save for later, because let's say that I found another few gems that had 14 quality. Once you sell up to a total of 40 quality between different gems, they'll give you a gem cutter prism, which will give 1 quality to a gem that you do like and need. So, like for example, for rolling magma, it'll bounce twice more with 20 quality, and it'll be different depending on what gem what it does. Now, we're gonna check the vendor and see if there are any foilings for sale. There should be some. There is a 4-link glove. This is perfect for us. Absolutely perfect. We can absolutely use that. We would love having 1 red, but this is huge for us. And we have an Essence of Greed, so we're actually going to throw that on it. So we get the 9 lightning res and 24 life. A little bit unlucky. And we can also, like, early put our... I don't want to put in there. Also, we can have conductivity somewhere. We're not really lightning yet, so we could take the lightning damage from our Holy Flame Totem and put it on there. So now I have the rolling magma with combustion, added lightning, and elemental proliferation. So a little bit of an upgrade there. We're mostly resist capped. A few points below res cap is kind of whatever, especially doing the campaign early. Now we're getting Dreamer, and we are like a few levels away from getting our Mage. That's the 31. Right, so we have this trial. There's 2 more to get. No, 1 more to get. Just 1 more. There'll be a side quest here too that we're gonna skip. It just gives you a belt? I don't even know. I don't think I've done that since 2013. That's not important. Is there any difference in putting the active seal gem on weapon or on any other armor piece? No. Not unless it specifically tells you. Some items will have like socketed gems as a line. Level 29. We're almost at giga damage. See, I think we are taking a mastery here. Reduced mana cost of skills. And then I think that's all the points we're supposed to have right now. No, we're going to be taking 2 more. We're going to be taking this for cast speed and some dexterity. There are other points we can take for dexterity as well, but this is basically 2 points, gives us some cast speed, and also uses dex. But we do have a 30 dex in there we can take in a pinch. We have some options. When was the last time you died during the campaign? I think I died once during the campaign this year. But before that, it was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. But I took Revicius during and everything explained. Now we can just like portal out or leave here. That's the only thing we need from this zone. There's some like side quests that we're ignoring. I usually do everything explained on the softcore now, but I want this character for later as a different character. That's why I'm doing it on hardcore. So I'll just transfer it to Trade League later. So you can migrate. So if you like want to try solo Southland and you realize it's not for you, you can just migrate to the Trade League. I did die against Uber Doder in Crucible. That was a bug though. That wasn't like a normal thing. That was hot fixed within 10 minutes of me dying from it. Alright. So in this zone there's not much to do, we just need to find the next zone. There are 2 unique ribbons here. Again, you don't need to kill things, it's just like I said, nice. This is a new life class level, so since we have so many transmutes, it's nice to throw that on. And I was just hoping for either like freeze immune, corrupting blood immune. Obviously freeze is pretty self-explanatory, you're frozen, and you don't want to be frozen. Bleed and corrupting blood are two different things. Corrupting blood is applied by some special monsters, both blue and yellow. And they will just give like this red thing that'll like start stacking and give you loads of physical damage taken. Bleed is whenever you've been like cursed by vulnerability or something like that, and you'll take a lot more damage while moving, and it is an incredible amount of damage. So both of those are very scary, so having a bleed immune potion, even pretty early, is very useful. We definitely want that on hardcore early. On softcore, there's no penalty to dying in Path of Exile until like level 95 or something, basically. After Act 5, you lose 5% of your XP when you die, and after Act 10, you lose 10% of your XP when you die, which like until high 90s is a very negligible amount. So it's very forgiving. Here we have Lady Diala. Do we care about ending? We probably do need Dex more than ending. Yeah, we'll take the Dex. Strength and Dex is what we're gonna need. This does have an open suffix to craft more resist. We grab the quest item and we're on our way. Oh, we already have a mana flask. Alright. We're almost 31. I don't remember if we need to do library on this build. I think maybe not. This is a divination card. You will never finish a set during the campaign, but the way it works is it's basically a item shard. So once I have 3 more Jack in the Box, it would give me a unique item. I was gonna do best here. I forgot about that. Do that next time I have a waypoint. Here's Corvicius. We can kill him. He can be pretty tricky, especially when he does like the Firestorm Rain. Especially if you're not 100% fire risk. Sorry, 75. Fire risk cap, I should say. But we are, and we have a lot of life, so quite easy. Checking boots again. Now, these are kind of nice. They do require 44 strength, which we don't currently have. We're 1 off. But they do have like really good life for the resists. So, since we can craft up to 15% movement speed for 3 augmentations with one of the recipes we got, which if you don't remember where we got that, that was at the start of City of Sarn, right outside the boss room. They would be kind of tempting to keep since we're not really using the sockets in my boot a lot. Like, I'm very not socket dependent right now. It's a pretty easy build for that. So it's tempting. We're gonna take these to get a bunch of cast speed. Cast speed feels really, really good. It's not always like the best damage, but sometimes, especially if you're already one-shotting things and stuff, it can feel really good to take more cast speed rather than higher damage. You might notice that normal white monsters die very quickly. And a lot of people have a specific characters for mapping and some for bossing. So like, you know, clear speed characters and boss characters. Instead of having a character that aims to do everything. Pretty scary side boss here that you can just run around by going here. Called Cole. It's like Brutus. He tried to hurt me. He used to be very deadly back in the day. Back in my day. So I don't think we'll get 31. I might actually get to do the swap before fighting. I'm gonna go check Bestiary real quick. I'm not gonna use whatever I get, but it's a worth thing to do as a new player because you can get something cool, unique. Visit the menagerie. So we go back to Act 2, talk to Einar, and you need to have killed at least 4 yellow beasts and any red beast. So if I do this now, you can see that I can get a unique item. So I can get some cool rings. Get a tabula. Wanderlust, like these would be really, really good. This is one of the better things I could have gotten. I'm not going to use that because I want to have like an RNG free run, but they are a unique item, so these like you can't craft on these at all. But they have cannot be frozen and 20% movement speed and mana regen rate, so it's like perfect for Archmage. But I got really tilted by like early guides in Path of Exile and current guides in RuneScape, where people will say, yeah, this cool thing that I have, it's not needed, and then they proceed to do it with the best gear and that's possibly available. It really bothered me. It's the one thing RuneScape creators do wrong. Oh no, their content's really good. It's like, oh yeah, let me just use my fucking Bofa. You can totally use a magic bow though. Alright, just a dead end. And then eventually when we get some more strength, we can use those boots and craft on them. There are like different tiers of craft, so eventually we'll be able to go even faster. Now I just need to navigate this little maze. We're almost level 31. I'm gonna go respec then. Also manifest, that is an upgrade for us. I noticed that we're one-shotting everything now. It's very nice. This is a very scary zone. They will, like, we call them titty bitches. They're, tentacle masqueration things with, like, well, their tits out. They will sort of, like, aim at you and then machine gun. So as long as you move after they've started firing, they can't hit you. Is he the old school Ziz we all heard about? No, I'm not Zizima. They do get asked that a lot. I've talked to him when I was playing RuneScape. At us, he never showed himself. Kind of what he would say. Alright. Yeah, I'll play more RuneScape. I'll have RuneScape. It is, you don't hide it. If you watched when I played RuneScape, I think it was very obvious that I was not a RuneScape player. Although I didn't die. Hardcore Grape Iron Man, by the way. Alright, let's see. What was the next skill point? Boom, we're getting more cast speeds, and that was like from the last two levels, and 10% cast speed, which is really nice. Let's see, we'll kill the blue monsters before Piety here. And oh yeah, Piety again, by the way. We're gonna fight Piety again. Never get rid of her. Alright. I am going to... I think we can switch to Archmage already. Maybe we need to do the library. I'm not 100% sure. Alright, we get Firestorm here for free from Armoa. And we might have to do the library. We have to do the library. That's fine. We're okay with that. We start leveling at Firestorm. We'll go kill Piety with our normal stuff. I mean, honestly, I guess we could start using Firestorm already. It doesn't go through the wall, but it should still be fine. I think. We'll try it. But you'll see a big difference. It doesn't go through the wall, but it should still be fine. I think. We'll try it. It should still be fine. I think. It does look cool though. Look at that. Fine. I think. We'll try it. But you'll see a big difference once we get Archmage. Look at that big meteor. It will be a lot better with Archmage. It does look cool though. How do you get that? Oh, is she? Damn me. Yeah, you don't want to tough it out, for sure. You definitely want to do library. Alright, there. Now we also get a skill point. Just vendoring all the random stuff. So easy, we have 9 transmutes, 9 alterations, and we have gotten a few new orbs that we're going to explain. We've gotten a Chaos Orb. This is the bread and butter of trading. There are 2 trading currencies that they're not really used as much for their own purpose as they are for trading. Chaos Orb is for like smaller trades, and this is like bread and butter. And then you have another one that we won't find during the campaign called Divine Orb, which is worth, on softcore, I think roughly 200 Chaos Orbs. So those 2 are the 2 main things for trading. We do have a fusing as well. This is similar to a jeweler, where you can, like, for example, if I used it on my boots, it would link the green and the blue together. 150? Wow, okay, it's more expensive on hardcore than softcore. Usually isn't. Crazy. Right, let's look at the 55/Core Lab. We are going to be taking a bunch more points. I'll take the ones at the bottom first. We'll go here because they'll give us strength. Take these, and then we're going to take these. And then we're going to move up. Right, we're going to go do library. Well, right now I'm not reading any chat most of the time because I am doing an Everything Explained video series, which is like a tutorial for new players. So I'm not reading too many chats right now. But usually, Firestorm is so cool. Watch this drop a mirror. Can't drop a mirror for another 5 levels. 35 and higher, 31 and higher, I'll let you know. They're very rare. Okay, we got the waypoint. Now, there's a few things we're gonna do. We're gonna do the side area library to get the Archmage support gem, which is what our build is based up around. And we'll be using Firestorm for a long time. We're basically using that until we get a special gem. That's the one I talked about that I might try to get off stream because it can literally take 4 or 5 hours if you're unlucky. And that's why this build switch is kind of late. Like, you can get through the entire campaign with this. Which is what we're gonna do, but the actual Ice Nova is a pain to get. You can just buy it. I usually farm it myself. I never buy it. Now we just gotta look for some levers. Levers. Firestorm has like one big ball and then it's like pelting down with small missiles. Here's the loose candle or a lever. Secret. How do you farm them? You do the labyrinth, which is we are going to do labyrinth shortly before Dominus to show how we ascend, but that's also how you get it. Now, ideally, we have streamer RNG. Hey, GGG, please listen. We have streamer RNG happen, and we get it on our first lab now. That would be really crazy lucky. But we aren't expecting that. But what if we do get it? But we what? It's like 1 in 31 odds. So very low. That's what happened with me. Yeah, it's pretty rare though. But congrats, that's awesome. It is a lot easier to get in the third lab. So you have to do lab 4 times. And the third one is a lot easier. You see, already now, this might feel good. So you might be thinking like, wow, it gets better. It gets a lot better. It's a lot better. Although we are one-hitting things already, so how much better do you really need it to be? Okay, we're gonna go back to the library. And then, do we get Archmage here? We do, Archmage support. And then now, we should have inspiration. I don't have the sockets for this, so we might have to get creative. Let's see. So, right now we don't need combustion anymore because we're now going full lightning. We don't need auto lightning, but we might keep that. We don't need a proliferation, we need lightning penetration. I don't think I can get intensify, can I? Oh, I can. Okay, we'll grab intensify then. So that's listed as the 5th support gem. Inspiration is listed as the 4th. But since I don't have a red right now, but that's the 5th support gem. I don't have this. Let's see. So right now we don't need combustion anymore because we're now going full lightning. We don't need auto lightning, but we might keep that. We don't need auto proliferation. We need lightning penetration. I don't think I can get intensify, can I? Oh, I can. Okay. We'll grab intensify then. So that's listed as the 5th support gem. Inspiration is listed as the 4th. But since I don't have a red right now, and I don't really want to recolor it, honestly, it would be really nice to recolor it. Do I dare? Such a scary decision. First, we should check the vendor. We should check the vendor first. But since I don't have a red right now, and I don't really want to recolor it, honestly, it would be really nice to recolor it. Do I dare? Such a scary decision. First, I don't really want to recolor it. Honestly, it would be really nice to recolor it. Check the vendor. We should check the vendor first. And let's see. No. Oh, we do have. We do have. Oh, perfect. I was going to try to recolor, but since we only have 8, it's scary if we run out. But here we actually have a chest. Do I have any currency? No, we're just gonna, I'm not gonna transform this. I'm just going to craft resist on it. But this is fine. So I'll explain what gems we're using here in a sec. Oh, we don't need flame wall anymore, I think. There, we'll sell our old chest. But we want either 4 blue or 3 blue, 1 red. And gems are listed in order of priority. So I'm gonna just set up my gem setup real quick and then explain everything I've done. We're going back here and buying a clarity. And this will be somewhat leveled. I don't need Holy Flame Totem anymore. Oh, we need to go back to the library. We're gonna buy another one called Eternal Blessing. And then I think we have everything. Oh, we can buy a second Arcane Surge actually. So we're gonna level this one now, the level 3. We're gonna switch that out. More duration. Gonna buy a more duration support, which we can't use yet. And then we need Eternal. Oh, we don't get Eternal yet. What level is Eternal? Is it 38? 38. 38 we get Eternal Blessing, so it's in the next site. So I am going to have Frostblink with a level 1 Arcane Surge. That means that anytime I Frostblink, we get Arcane Surge, so that's nice. I am going to have you know, clarity here for now. We can level up the intensify. Oh, we don't want that connected to the clarity. Oh, it doesn't connect. So sometimes you can accidentally put a support gem, let's say Ink AoE on clarity, and that would connect and it would increase the mana cost. Clarity, vitality, and precision are the only 3 auras that are flat reservation, not percentage based. We don't need Rolling Magma anymore. We don't need Holy Flame Totem anymore. We don't need Combustion, Elemental Proliferation. Keep Added Lightning. No, we don't really need it. Flame Wall we don't need. And here we have Arcane Cloak, and we want that with an Arcane Surge that we're going to be leveling. Crossblink, we get Arcane Surge, so that's nice. I'm going to have you know, Clarity here for now. We can level up the Intensify. Well, we don't want that connected to the Clarity. Oh, it doesn't connect. So sometimes you can accidentally put a support gem, let's say in KoE, on Clarity, and that would connect and it would increase the mana cost. Clarity, Vitality, and Precision are the only 3 auras that are flat reservation, not percentage based. We don't need Rolling Magma anymore. We don't need Holy Flame Totem anymore. We don't need Combustion, Elemental Proliferation. We keep out of the Lightning. No, we don't really need it. Flame Wall we don't need. And here we have Arcane Cloak, and we want that with an Arcane Surge that we're going to be leveling. Now, when do I get the Automate thing? I don't think I have that already, right? Awesome. We might not want to use this yet. We'll see. We'll see how it feels with Automate. Actually, we can keep the Rolling Magma for Lab. That's a good point from chat. Just so that we have one. A blue gem. Let's see. Ice Nova. Now is a good time to we can go back to Act 1 and we can buy some Ice Novas, just so that we have some things to try to turn into the special Ice Nova we need later. So I'm just going to buy, I mean, ideally buy one that costs 1 wisdom. Put something with a bunch of blues, and then we're going to buy Ice Novas. So I'm being a little wasteful. I'll buy 3. And then we'll be leveling those and trying to turn them into the special Ice Nova that we need. Making this clean guide only for it to get shot next patch. What's more for a lot for people this time as well, and people like them as background content. Right, we're gonna take Sanctity, that gives us Strength and Int. And we could now do the boot switch. Let's go put movement speed on that because I have enough augments. Right. So I have a lot of things I need to explain now. Okay, boom. We now have 10% movement speed, 45 life, and lots of ass. So they're really, really nice boots. I'll keep these just in case. But most of the time I would just vendor them. We can be leveling more duration here. Now, let's go over what we've done. So, some people saw that I was now in my weapon swap leveling gems. So I don't get any stats from my weapon swap, but there's no downside to leveling gems. So I can be leveling more duration. But most of the time I would just use boots. I'll keep these just in case. Now, let's go. Okay, boom. I'll keep, we can be leveling more duration here. Now, let's go over what we've done. Gems. So, some people saw that I was now in my weapon swap leveling gems. So I don't get any stats from my weapon swap, but there's no downside to leveling gems here. So at the end game, you'll always see players leveling 6 gems, usually off their main gem, in their weapon swap, because there is a way you can get gems to level 21. So we are going to be leveling those 3 Ice Novas because we are going to be trying to make a special gem out of it later. That would be for part 2 of this video. I have Automation, Arcane Surge, and Arcane Cloak, but I'm not 100% sure if I want to run it automated. I can either have it manually triggered, which the way that would work is I would have it on, let's say, W, and whenever I want a big damage burst, I hit that, and that gives me 3 seconds of Arcane Cloak, where I'll get a large damage bonus of lightning damage, plus some defense. So it's really, really good. With Automation, it'll just be triggering every time its cooldown is over, which is every 5 seconds. But it could feel bad with mana. So that's the downside there. So that's more of a use as you see fit. We have conductivity. I have curses on T. And you'll notice I'm trying to make sure always attack without moving is on everything. The only gem in the game they don't want that on is dash. Other than that, we don't need anything else. We have our aura on, and we just have to decide whether we want automation on or not. So we only have 3 buttons now. So very, very nice. And we are now going to find the last trial, and we are going to ascend. But now we are one-shotting pretty much everything. Doing a lot of damage now. So we want to keep the level 1 at level 1, and we can level up the other one. Because when we're using that with automation, that'll just get triggered a lot for a higher level Arcane Surge. And Arcane Surge is still useful at level 1, but it does do a lot more at higher levels. You see we have pretty high mana regen too. It doesn't feel too bad to have it automated. What I like doing sometimes is putting Arcane Cloak on mouse button 1. Still makes it act like a move only, but what it does is I can keep track of the cooldown a little bit. Did I do the Piety skill point? Slash passives. Piety's pets, we do have it. Let's see, there's a skill or recipe over here. Almost a skill point. There, and now we can log out and we can go back to town and we are going to ascend. Ascend. Same time as last time we showed with slash passives. You just enter slash passives.
Stand before the gates of the Lord's labyrinth. Within these walls, the Lady Goddess is watching.
Now, especially the early lab is very easy. You just go to the top bit. But there is a website called poelab.com where there's a guy that runs lab every day right after midnight and updates the website. And so you see the layout. It also shows like what weapon Izaro has and stuff like that. And it'll tell you on entry if you're missing any trial, which you might be. You might have forgotten to do one of the ones we just did. But if you're following along, you should have everything. Yeah, we're gonna be leveling everything here. And at level 38, we're gonna have something called Eternal Blessing, which since we're only reserving 1 aura, it'll be free. We'll be switching that around a little bit later. We'll be switching that around a little bit. Let's see. Could also decide to run race. Since I'm on hardcore. But you shouldn't be. You should be on softcore. So this is a big mace attack. This is the easiest one to like avoid. Very similar, like you see that I'm running around in circles. You see he's firing a green beam at these. If we take these out, he'll be weaker. And if we don't, he'll be stronger. They have very high damage resistance when he doesn't fire the green beam at them. And generally, for single targets, we want to use T for the curse before attacking. And it lasts quite a while. Let's see how long. Quite a while. You see, we have really good boss damage, and it'll just get a lot better. Let's see, how long does it last? 8 seconds. Now, you don't really need to worry much about the side areas and like boxes and stuff in lab. You just need to run through and kill him 3 times. Even if you're on softcore, if you die, then you have to do it all over again. So this is medium core content. So you can't just respawn and continue. Right. So this is another thing, and these are random, like what the room will have. So this is like a thing that I click and it doesn't buff him. And if they're all up, he gets loads of physical damage as extra elemental. It makes him really scary. So now we'll click those, and ideally we want to have both of them clicked before we take him to the next phase. So now he only has one buff. You can see that one went down with him, and that'll be in the final stage of the lab. And then once we do the final stage, we will get our subclass, which is going to be a Hierophant. Very hairy. Loads and loads of traps. They do very little in the first iteration of the lab. They do get a lot harder in what we call Cruel and Merciless Lab. They're pretty dangerous. So don't feel too bad if you die. We're a very tanky build too. Already we have basically 1,000 life. This is not where we're going, so it's over here. Really? Really? Either way, it's here. Cast speed also just feels really good in general, especially late game of this build. You want a lot of cast speed. Do feel bad if you die in the last fight and have to run lava again. That's true. You will feel bad. It should be pretty easy with this build. It's a very, very strong build. You see that even the fire damage is very little because we are rest cap 75, 75, 75, 102 really. You notice as well, even though it says 102, we were obviously not immune to lightning damage. That is, like I said, just the overcap resistance. Yeah, any death in hardcore perma-rips your character. Alright, we're gonna take this. So now, the more mana we have available, the more damage we do. Which is really good because that's also giving us defense because we have that 40% of damage taken from mana before life. Pick up some rares. We have a key that we can use from the box. And I always go and I click the Ultra Ascendancy first, and now, boom, Hierophant. And we're going to take Conviction of Power. So this is our subclass. And this is like listed in the path of building too, which one you take first. And this gives us 4 endurance charges is what we care about here. We don't care that much about the power charges, but they are beneficial. But the endurance charges, they will increase the physical and elemental damage reduction of our character, making us a lot tankier. Now we're going to throw Rolling Magma in here because the gem that we're looking for later is blue. Oh, I thought that said Nova. We didn't get anything good here. On Trade League, like some of these might be worth something, like maybe people are playing Summon Rating Experience. We are leveling Ice Novas in our offhand that we'll be able to use later, so I'll just make that an enormity. We don't have to take one. So every endurance charge is 4% physical mitigation and 4% elemental. 4% physical and elemental. We'll identify the helmet in case it's a good one, but we're just gonna vendor everything. A little bit low on transmutes right now. Alright. Now we just need to go to the next zone. So now, like, the crit from the power charges will help us a little bit. Like, power charges are critical strike chance. And that's because we are elemental overload. So if we look at our firestorm right now, we can see that our crit chance is 20%. So you'll see that the diamond is up quite a lot when you're running a run. Hi, Ventura. Hey, dude. Yeah, we have plenty of damage right now. I would love more cast speed, just because cast speed feels good. Hecking love cast speed. Thanks. It is. Arc experience always feels good. Is there anything we haven't explained this early now that we should be explaining? I feel like we've done pretty good covering most things. Might have remembered everything this time. Where is the next area? Top right, I guess. Should you run lab at a higher level to level up your gems, or just buy gem cutter prisms? So gem cutter prisms only increase the quality, not your level of the gem. But you can level up gems in lab too. It's an XP boost. How do you get stun immune on this build? I don't think you do. I think you get there's a endgame jewel you can buy. You don't really get stun immune easily in this. So we did talk about quality on gems, but gear can get quality as well. So like we can use armor scraps or blacksmith whetstones to get quality on a weapon, which would be good for a melee character. It doesn't do anything for us at all. So don't worry about weapon quality on this build. But armor quality is good because it'll give you higher armor, evasion, energy shield, but it'll also make it easier to link items. So if an item is 20 quality, it's a lot easier to link than a 0 quality item. So it's very, very important later on when you're trying to 5 or 6 link something that you have 20 quality before using jewelers and fusings on it. We're soon coming up against the Scion. Oh, I guess we already did. Scion's back there. We can explain inspiration, yeah. So one of the main reasons we're using inspiration right now is that its supported skills have 25% less mana cost, so it's easier for us to run because we are starting to get decent mana cost, and these charges are more elemental damage. Archmage, the way it works is the more mana we have, the more damage we do. It specifically is lightning damage, so if we hover over the gem, even though it's a fire gem, already we have very similar lightning damage to fire, and we've just started scaling it. And then we have lightning penetration, because we are going to be having pretty much 90-95% lightning damage. That's why we're using connectivity. Could technically use elemental weakness at this point since it's 50-50, but it will very quickly become a lot more lightning than fire. Just gonna kill some mini bosses here. I haven't. So he has that big Sam that's very scary. Scary. Other than that, he's pretty harmless. Especially since we're resist capped. It's so easy to resist capped on this build. Alright. Now, this guy, this part is pretty scary. Bleed immune is really good here. Or staying inside because he has blood rain. But if you run outside the yellow circle he spawns, you'll die pretty fast. And you'll see you'll get corrupting blood rain. So you want to stay inside these. And then obviously it goes down sometimes.
By exiling me, you were my
So we just run. And again, notice that we have not like accepted quests or talked to NPCs. We're just ignoring them. We just like, we don't really like NPCs. They're whatever to us. We're beyond them. So the very, very few people that are worth talking to in Rayclast. We're very rude people. We're very rude. Thump. But my lore, Path of Exile has actually great lore in the form of short stories. It's really good. Colossal Life Flask. I probably won't bother with a new Life Flask until... do I need that? Until we are 42. That's when I'll care now. It's a pretty good Life Flask. You have 42 and then not another one until 60. As you can see, we do plenty of damage. Everything's dying quite quickly. We're pretty tanky.
the corrupt shall fall.
Let's see, did we get... Now we get another like big damage upgrade. I don't know if it shows in the tooltip. Average damage 305, 378 from one node. So you'll probably start seeing very quickly how fast this is gonna scale. We went from 300 to 378 very quickly. Unless that was with... Maybe that was just the Archmage that procced. Maybe it just went up 20 or 30. But it is going to scale incredibly fast. Incredibly fast. This is like one of the best feeling builds early. We don't need a Basalt Flask. Not gonna use that. Now, since I'm hardcore, I kind of want to go and get a Grace. It might be a bit of a pain for me to have enough dexterity to level that. But since our early defense got so violenced, that can be really good. So I'm going to consider that. Yeah, let's go get a Grace. I'll keep this four-link boot in case I get an alchemy or something to throw on it. Let's go buy a Grace. No, you definitely have totems in PoE too.
Let's speak again.
Why does Archmage go Evasion over Armor? So the build that we're playing, at the end game, it gets a large amount of raw HP. We'll basically have like 20,000 raw HP, which most builds don't get that much raw. And then it's very, very strong to not get hit repeatedly, which is why we go for Evasion. Because if we're doing like mitigation, we don't really have a good way to recover quickly. But with Evasion, we're not going to get hit twice in a row. So we want to focus on not getting one shot and like being able to tank 2 or 3 hits, but not getting hit very often and allowing for our recovery. Same with my Lightning Strike Trickster. It's why I didn't go for the Aegis build. I just went for 20,000 energy shield, and then we have loads of evasion. We barely ever get hit, and we have Ghost Dance as a recovery thing. So it's like just a different way to look at it. I have 3,540 HP. How do I get to 20k? So in this build, we get loads of energy shield, loads of life, and loads of mana, and that's all part of our raw HP. So on mine, I had like 4,000. I had like 4,000 life, 16,000 mana, and like 5,000 energy shield when I played this last. Here's like a little mini boss. Pretty easy. Hey, we get a ring, we get a silver flask. That would be really good to use. I'm not going to use it because it's very rare to drop one this early. I wouldn't use it with this roll. I wouldn't want restoration on it. But that is a very good item to get this early.
Yes.
There, gonna vendor
Oh,
these.
you are not
I
still
don't
here.
use Swellin. Not bad though. Definitely looks very good. I want to look at new weapons because we don't really have good ones right now. So percentage spell damage would be pretty good for us. This is 3 blue. This is 2 blue, 1 green. So I want to buy these bases. And then hopefully we'll get some alchemies or something good to use on those. We'll keep those. I'm not keeping a lookout for that. I'm going to bathroom real quick. BRB. I'm like, let's continue. So we got the quest item, Deshret's banner to break Deshret's seal. Here we encounter Nico, who is one of the masters. He's the master of Delve, which is like underground side content area. I'm not going to do or cover that in this, but it is still worth clicking on the voltaxic sulfide veins, which is the fuel you need to do Delve. And honestly, it's pretty self-explanatory anyway. You can just sort of go down there and play around with it. But clicking those sulfide veins can give you a divination card that gives you 10 alterations. So that is really nice to hit early during the campaign, because we will use a lot of alterations. Thousands, actually. Kill this guy and grab the recipe. Now, why don't we use both Clarity and the Grace Aura? And that's because we're going to be using Eternal Blessing. And Eternal Blessing only lets you use one at a time unless you use the other one on your life, which you can do. I've seen some people do Clarity on life, and then Grace on Eternal Blessing. It's definitely an option. Eternal Blessing is really good for us because we want to keep our mana free, so that we have that ready to protect our life. There's another Sulfide Vein. He's a tanky boy. Some gloves. Now that I'm starting to go a little bit faster, I'm probably going to be focusing mostly on like keeping smaller items, like the Jade Chopper is like a 2x4. So I'm going to try not to like loot every single item. When you're new, you probably will loot every single item. It's a very normal. When I was a new player, I remember I had like a tab for red gems, a tab for green gems, a tab for blue gems, a tab for belts that I found, and stuff like that, and I would like hoard and pick up every single thing. It's very normal when you're new, because you don't really know what to get rid of. Okay, we did like the side quest there, that gives us a skill point. Don't need to kill Void Scream if you don't find him. It's whatever, it's just no reason to kill him. It's just they die so fast, so if I see a unique, I probably will. Oh, oops. Let's see. I think next on the POB we're gonna be moving down. There's some life nodes here and Dynamo. And we do want those like mana nodes. They're really good. It's another mastery too, I think we can pick up. A little bit scary clicking blue boxes because they could have freeze, and freeze could easily kill me. Killed another exile there, but we didn't get anything particular. I'm not going to care much about upgrading my life fast right now, but if I identify an instant one, I would use that. I don't really want to get rid of my corrupting blood immunity. I can get that as a third one, because that down I had Ignite removal, and